Sage 100 allows you to perform period and year-end closing at the end of each accounting period and for your last fiscal accounting period of the year. In this overview, we will cover backing up your system and companies, closing procedures, tasks to complete, and year-end interim release downloads and service packs. There are additional topics available that are module specific that you'll want to review as well. There's a lot to be aware of when you close your period or year, and you want to proceed in a very methodical approach. You want to make sure you have a tested backup, and it's recommended that you do a backup each period and as well at the end of the year. There are a number of ways that you can do backups. You'll want to follow the suggested order of closing. You'll want to follow your checklist, and there are some available in Sage 100 to help you with organizing this time. You want to ask your business partner if there are any special circumstances you need to be aware of. That might include some additional enhancements that you have installed. You'll want to access Sage websites for important closing information and downloads. And you want to be communicating with the employees that are involved with the period or year-end processing so they know exactly what's expected of them.
Hi, this is Natalie, and I am going to show you 2 different ways you can back up your system. One easy way you can back up your system every period, or at the end of the year, is in Library Master, on the main menu, and select Company Maintenance. Let's say that I'm ready to back up my ABC company, and I want to do it for the year 2023. In the company code field, I'll use an A to replicate my ABC company and 23 for the year. For the description in the company name field, I am going to use the source company code and the date of the backup. Now I know when the backup is done. For company type, we select Archive from the list, because we are backing up the company for archive. Now I select Copy, and we get the following message: the company record must be saved before data can be copied. Select Yes. Another warning message is displayed. It reads, copying individual modules that are integrated with other modules may cause unexpected results. Integration with any copied module should be reviewed. Select Yes. Next, we identify the source company. I want to back up my ABC company, and I'll select it. By default, all modules that you have for this company will be selected. If you don't want to back up all the modules, that's okay. Perhaps you just want to make a backup of inventory management. All you would do is unselect all those modules using the Unselect All button to the right and select the modules you want to back up. Remember, if you are backing up only individual modules, you need to back up General Ledger and Common Information. Just check the General Ledger and Common Information will be selected as well, and then if I was just doing inventory management, I would select Inventory Management. I'm going to select all my modules for backup, and then I'll go ahead and select Proceed. A message displays, do you want to copy all data files to selected company? And I select Yes. It's looking at all my information and copying the data. When complete, you can see now I have data for all my modules for this company, and I'll go ahead and accept. Just to show you how to check, I change companies and select the backup of ABC. Then go to General Ledger, for example, and I look at Account Maintenance. I see all the accounts that I have in that company. I do have a backup now. An alternative way is to back up of the entire MAS 90 directory. Depending upon where you have your Sage 100 installed, you'll need to find it. I have it on my C drive under the Sage folder, under Sage 100. Here's where my MAS 90 directory is located. Perhaps your IT staff could back this up on a regular nightly routine.
Hi, this is Daisy. and we're going to review closing procedures. It is important to follow a logical order of closing, so a module that writes to another module's posts first. Here we have a list of the various modules and the order they should be closed in. Some modules don't have official closing routines, such as bill of materials, production management,
return merchandise authorization,
and barcode. However, you would want to review these modules and run various reports on a routine basis. But looking at modules that do have posting routines, for example, sales order and purchase order, write to inventory, while sales order writes to accounts receivable, purchase order writes to accounts payable, and both update the general ledger. Those modules should be closed in a specific order. Sales order should be closed before accounts receivable. Purchase order should be closed before accounts payable. And the last module we close is general ledger. Thinking about your entire Sage 100 system means all invoices, all cash receipts, all receipts of goods, all receipts of invoices, all journals should be posted and updated prior to closing the general ledger. In fact, you might decide not to close general ledger at the end of the year because you may have audits and tax returns, and you need to have entries too. You'll also notice that bank reconciliation is not listed. That's generally done when you receive your statements. Payroll is listed, but that's done on a quarterly basis. So be aware that certain modules close in a particular order. Now looking at your individual modules, there are also various checklists available to help you in closing. Let's look at those. In Sage 100, you can go to the Help tab and select Help Topics. Once there, enter the word checklist in the search field and select the search button. This brings up a variety of different checklists. We're focusing on period end and year end. Some of these are clearly labeled. For example, here's my general ledger period end and year end processing checklist. Here's job cost, accounts payable, accounts receivable. But if we look at this one called period end processing checklist, and then there is another period end processing checklist and another, it is not clear which module. But if we look a little closer, we can see that it gives us the module in the description. Well, the abbreviation anyway. This one's for inventory, notice the IM. And this one is for purchase order, here's the PO. And then this one is for sales order. These checklists can be very helpful in closing the period. They are defined in separate topics that are done at the module level. So, who actually closes the period? Well, all that is determined by security and role maintenance. So, when do I close? As stated previously, once all your data has been entered for the prior period, and if it's the end of the year, and all reports are run and reconciled, you may want to leave General Ledger open. Do I have to close? Well, technically you don't, but it does stop processing inadvertently to any past periods that you consider closed. For example, if the current period is June, but it is actually August, the default posting will be to June. And it is really easy to accept that default, and then your posting is in the wrong period, which means it's going to be adjustment time. I know whenever the year changes, it takes me a while to automatically write the new year on my checks. So, similarly, if they keep a period open, there might be posting to the wrong period, and that means backing out entries and making adjustments. Everyone should be out of the system when you're closing or if you are doing a backup. Who is on the system can be answered through the Master Console, which lets you see who is on the system. If you see users on the system using the module you want to close, you can actually call them, email them, or use the broadcast button. Let me show you where you access the Master Console. On the Home tab on the ribbon, you'll see the Master Console. Select it and it's going to display the workstation being used, the user, the company, the module the user is in, and what they are actually doing in the program column. What we see here is an ideal situation because only one user is in the system, and only the desktop is open. You'll notice that there is a broadcast button. This can be used to broadcast a message to all the users on the system. You can use the broadcast button. You could email, you could call a user. Once the user or users said they're out and back to the desktop, you can refresh the screen to see what the status is. And if the users are indeed out,
you can also use the Shutdown All button, which is used to terminate a user session once they have returned to the desktop and are out of any open task.
Just as a reminder that at period end and year end, The tasks that should be completed are to enter and post all data entry tasks, such as open invoices, cash receipts,
Checks.
and posting journals in the module. Printing the reports. Reconciling the module to the general ledger, and then closing the module.
Hi, this is Delilah, and we're going to talk about the importance of knowing what version of Sage 100 you're on. Not only at period end or year end, but at any time there might be a product update that will be released. So find the current version of your Sage 100, go to the Help tab, and then on the ribbon locate Sage 100 About and select it. This displays the platform and the version of your Sage 100. You will need this for various reasons when updating or seeking help. If you are on an unsupported version, there will be no more product updates, no interim releases, and potentially no support from Sage. It's time to upgrade if you have an unsupported version, but if you have third-party integrations, be sure to verify the versions are supported. So find your version on your Sage desktop, go to the Help tab, and from the ribbon, select Product Documents. To view the document that shows supported versions, you need to go to the Help tab and select the Sage 100 documentation, and it opens in the Information Center. Select the latest Sage 100 release, open the Administrator and Technical Documentation section, select the supported platform matrix link, then scroll down to the bottom of the page. And under See Also, you'll see a link for Sage 100 supported versions, and on that page is a chart for your review. There is also a link to information on Sage 100 retired versions on this page. In addition, all Sage products have a year-end center on the Community Hub, which can be found through the link displayed here. Let's go to the Community Hub and see all it offers. This is a great tool for year-end. First, there is a section on frequently asked questions on various year-end topics. These links take you to pages with detailed information, and even more links to take you to the information you need. Use the breadcrumb path to return to the home page. There is a section on checklists, which pertain to year-end, and a link on available learning for Sage 100 year-end, and a section on updates along with a documentation. Follow these links to find the information you need. Links to external resources, such as Datrix and the IRS, can be seen. A link to more resources is found at the bottom of the page. In addition to the Community Hub, there is the Community Support area, where you can get answers to your questions or help fellow members to get the most from their solutions. The links in Sage 100 and the Community Hub should answer all your questions. But if you have a one-off question, you can open a ticket. In conclusion, it's very important that you understand how to find your version, as well as to see what is supported, and you can do all of this from your Sage 100 desktop. A couple of final comments on year-end. Historically, around the second or third week in December, the interim release download is available, which would include upgrades that might need to be made due to federal and/or state changes. You'll need to verify you have installed the latest product update for your version, and then you can install the latest IRD to print your 1099 and W-2s. You can then run your W-2s and 1099 before you run the first payroll of the new year. You want to verify your unemployment rate in Company Tax Group Setup.